Hey everybody! I thought today I would do something a little different. Normally I do videos about Peter Popoff and scams like that. There are a lot of them. Anyway, today I thought I would just share something a little more personal, see if people are interested in hearing about it. I'm a stepdad. I've got two boys. One is 9 years old, the other is 7 years old. It has been a ride. I've known them since the little one. I don't know if I should use names. Boy 2. Since boy 2 was a baby. I think I first saw him when he was 2 days old, and I really met him when he was about 3 months old. I've known his mom since she was pregnant with him. So, yeah. And I've known the other one since he was about 2. I met him when he was a little over 2 years old. I remember his third birthday. Vaguely. But what a party that was, man. But the older one, boy 1, he is on the autism spectrum just like me, like his mother. That's how his mother and I met. We met at an adults with autism sort of support group. And yeah, at first we struggled a lot more with him because he had a lot of issues, as you would expect with a person with Asperger's syndrome. He's very high functioning. He's not an invalid. He will probably live on his own one day, unlike me. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But we've had issues with him, but he's doing so much better now, and somehow he's easier to understand. You know, he's very literal, and I understand taking things literally. That's the basis of my humor. He's he's brilliant. He's very creative. He's very artistic. He's an artistic Aspie, like me. Not like his mother. His mother's very mathematical. And yeah, we eventually worked with him and figured out how to be his parents, basically. But the little one, boy 2, he is, I guess, neurotypical in that he's not an Aspie. He's not on the autism spectrum, but he has a lot of the behaviors, but I think that's because he learned them from us and from his brother. He has been diagnosed with what they call oppositional defiance disorder. Now, parents out there who know what that's about, they know what I'm talking about. They know. I didn't think it was a thing before becoming his stepdad, but I'm a believer now. A lot of times he will refuse to do things, and he won't listen, and it seems like he's doing it just for the sake of refusing, of being in control, of not doing what he's told. And it can be very easy to just get mad. Believe me, we've gotten mad. We've yelled. We do not spank, and we will not spank. I grew up with 3 sisters and a dad who liked to use a belt. So I refuse to hit a child. No, won't do it. So some of you out there might say, oh, well, that's why your kid has discipline problems. Well, I'd like to give you the middle finger right now, but I want this video to be monetized one day, and I'm a few dozen subscribers away from that, so just consider yourself flipped off if that is your position, and you can go away. Yeah, so anyway, that was a tangent. Yeah, we realized, though, that his refusal to comply with things was based on anxiety. When he feels out of control, he gets anxious, so he wants to be in control in order to manage his own anxiety. And so he's also been diagnosed with ADHD, and I know a lot of people out there will say, oh, that's not a real thing. It is a real thing. and we have him on some medication, and it has helped. It has helped a lot. But our big issue right now is he has these what I call psychotic episodes. I'm not a psychologist. There might be a real definition of a psychotic episode that I don't understand, so his things don't qualify. But he will scream. He will knock stuff over. It's mostly a lot of screaming, though, and he'll get into this state of terror where he's just terrified by something. I don't know, by the idea of complying with something. I don't know. If we tell him to do something that he doesn't feel confident enough to do, I think that sets it off. Or if he's tired or hungry. This morning he had a doozy of an episode, and sometimes during these episodes he will scream things like, "Throw me out the window, I'm gonna go play in traffic, I want to die, I want to kill myself." This kid is 7, and he's screaming about how he wants to kill himself. And it's difficult to deal with, especially for his mom, who is very affected by all this, very emotionally impacted, and physically. He gets violent, but not with anyone but his mother. It'll kind of seem like an accident, but I'm not sure he is. He often will like hit her in the face. He'll sort of like headbutt her. He did that a lot when he was much younger. Not so much anymore, but little accidents will still happen. And yeah, that's not good. He's given his mom a few black eyes. Never me, though. I don't know, maybe I'm more careful. Maybe she gets closer to him during that time. She's a cuddler, you know. She likes to cuddle her boys. Me, not so much. My dad was not really someone who showed affection. My mom did. So, I don't know. Take from that what you will. But it's not easy. We had little boy 2 on Zoloft for a little while in addition to his ADHD medication, and this was to deal with his the anxiety, and it worked wonders. For the first few days, he was the happiest kid. Not a single psychotic episode, but then I think we started him off during a weekend, and when he got to school, it sort of made the ADHD worse. And I'm told that people on Zoloft will sometimes have more trouble with impulse control, so he did a lot more knocking of people's stuff off desks and breaking what they're working on and hitting them. And yeah, so we had to take him off the Zoloft. And during the time he was on it, no screaming matches, nothing like that. I'm making all these hand gestures, but you can't see it. And I can't really zoom out anymore. Whoops. That's zooming in. No, I can't zoom out anymore, so... As long as you know that I'm making hand gestures, that's really all that matters. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so he was having more trouble at school, so we had to take him off the Zoloft, which means, since we've taken him off that, the crazy screaming things, screaming matches, whatever, not screaming matches, we're not really screaming back, usually. Ever. Usually. No, the episodes have started up again. This morning we had a big one. He wanted his mom to dress him, and we're trying to get him to do that himself. He's 7 years old. He should be dressing himself. But, and his mom will bring his clothes down for him, but I guess today she didn't. Or something. I probably have this all wrong. Either way, he didn't want to get his clothes, and he was going crazy. He needed someone to come upstairs with him, and I did that, and his mom said, Michelle, I'll use her real name, she's an adult, Michelle said that even going up with him is kind of an indulging of his control issues, but I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do. I know we're not supposed to just do everything he wants us to do. Michelle's worried that maybe he actually is terrified during these episodes. He probably is. And maybe it does help him to help him, to do a few things for him. I'm not really sure. So if you have any advice, I'm sure I'll get a lot of conflicting advice, but hey, any support or advice you could offer will be appreciated. And I appreciate you even just listening and watching this video, because kind of talking to this camera about it, I don't know, it kind of helps. Of course, I talked to Michelle about it too, so maybe she should talk to a camera about it too. I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got for you for now. I'll probably talk more about this and about my adventures in step parenting another time. If you have adventures to share, post them down there. Let me know. I want to read about them. Let's talk about being parents. See ya.